Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Smiths being the Smiths, and today I'm going to be cooking dinner. It's a rare occasion. Most of the time my wife cooks dinner, but it's not fair for her to do it all the time. Today she doesn't feel like it. So I'm going to go ahead and cook it tonight, and tonight let me go ahead and turn the camera around and show you what we'll be cooking and the ingredients we will be using. 1 second. So we're going to go ahead and try and do pasta with prosciutto, snap peas, mint and cream. It's going to take some ground pepper, some salt, some olive oil. It's said to use farfalle or orchette, but the farfalle was like the bow tie noodles, and I didn't feel like getting those. So I got these weird ones, campanelle, so we'll see how that is. They did not have prosciutto, so I got some thick, fresh cut slices of peppered bacon. We'll be using snap peas, some Parmesan to grate, some fresh mint, 4 shallots. I didn't feel like buying 4 whole shallots because it seemed like it would be a bit much, so I just ended up getting 2 that looks like they'd split into 4. That's probably still going to be a bit much, so we'll see how that turns out. It's also going to need something else that we have over here, which is the cream. So we will use, Carrie said heavy whipping cream would work well, and she would know better than I do, so we will also be using that. So I've got to do some preparation and do some mincing and chopping and that type of stuff. So the garlic cloves are minced. We're not actually using cloves, we're just going to use minced garlic. And so I will be dicing the prosciutto. I will be mincing the shallots, and then grating the Parmesan and chopping the fresh snap peas, chopping the mint, and then after I get that done, I will pop back on. Okay, so I decided I would just go ahead and do some of this on camera anyway. It's not like you're going to be watching it cook all the way, so we'll go ahead and start with the peppered bacon. It mentions to finely dice it. Now, I am by no means a chef. That is my wife, who does most of the cooking, so she would be much better at this than I am. She cooks us food every night, and she is very good at what she does, even though she's quite humble quite often and says that it doesn't take her much, or that you know, it didn't taste that good and stuff, but I always find that she does a very good job with it. So,
let me be honest, I don't make these kinds of meals all the time because all year long it's too hard to make these kinds of meals. He makes amazing freaking meals when he cooks. And
it takes a lot. I mean, when you're cooking all the time for a family, you can't do this type of stuff all the time. As I mentioned in the start, this is not something that I do a lot.
So the boys aren't even here. They're at Grandma and Papa's.
Something we can treat ourselves to once in a while.
Yes.
The boys themselves, they wouldn't eat this stuff. That's our own fault. They tend to eat... Tanner's a vegetarian by choice. It's not something we actually coaxed him into doing or anything. He decided that all on his own. Joshua, on the other hand, is really all about...
Joshua, let me just tell you. Joshua is bacon. Can I have bacon? Can you dip the bacon in bacon grease? And if I have some hamburger, can you put bacon grease on that with some bacon and a little more bacon? If there's cheese, can we have bacon to that? Joshua is all about fried foods. French fries. Oh my God. How many different kinds of French fries are there in the world? I want waffle fries. I want skinny fries. I want steak fries. I want crinkle fries. I want seasoned fries. I want all kinds of fries. Joshua is our, unfortunately, fatty food, processed food guy, which we're trying to curb in him.
Yes, and this, I honestly don't know how this is going to work, because it says to dice it, and, well, I don't
think I'm really doing a very good job at dicing.
You could have used one of the bigger knives, honey. Would you like me to get you one?
Maybe so, yeah. Although I think I'm going to try and pull out a lot of... This is bacon, not prosciutto, so...
Prosciutto is a thinner, really, really salty bacon, so it's not quite so fat. So
I'm going to separate out some of the fat.
He got really thick sliced bacon, which compared to prosciutto, he shouldn't. I think it's going to be fine. Once you actually cook it, Mark, use the proper knife. Use the proper knife.
And be sure... I did this before I started the video, but it's very important for hygiene. Make sure before you start cooking and prepping what you're going to cook that you wash your hands. For anybody out there who may be watching with children, if you are going to help your parents cook, I'm sure they do this already and they tell you to do this already, but wash your hands. You don't want to be cooking food for people with unwashed hands. That's just not right.
The only thing I might suggest to my husband, since he bought thick sliced bacon, and prosciutto is a very, very thin, maybe, honey, saute or, put it in the pan for a little bit, get off some of the grease, and then drain it. That's
a good idea.
I'm just going with it. Prosciutto is very salty. I wasn't happy that we were having a prosciutto thing, so I'm actually happy we're having bacon. I just am thinking about the recipe and how all the bacon fat might make it fall apart. So
yeah. So I want to try, like I said, it's not something, this is a pasta dish, so I don't want a whole lot of meat in it anyway. So I'm going to, as I said, separate out a lot of the fat as it is and just keep the meat. Abraham, if you're watching this, sorry I'm discarding bacon fat, sir. If I could, I would mail it to you. But I don't think that's something that would be looked favorably upon by a mail carrier. So almost done with this step, and then we will move on to the next. All right, so anyway, looking at the timer on the clock, it has been 4 minutes, and I do not want you guys to have to be subjected to me just preparing for time on end. I know that's cooking shows, obviously, they are professional cooks and they can get through this stuff quicker and they use time cuts and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and for these diced pieces here, I'm going to keep those, get rid of all of this fat, and I will turn the camera on when I have everything chopped and diced and show you what the next steps are. Okay, so far we have our bacon chopped up and diced. We have the shallots minced. I only used one of those ones instead of both, and that's a lot. Carrie had this cool little thing here that I was able to actually mince those up pretty quickly with. The snap peas are chopped, and now I'm going to go ahead and chop up this mint. Look at how cute that is. It actually came out that way, so I kind of feel bad because I'm going to tear all those leaves and everything off and then just toss it away, but that is about as fresh as you can get right there. So I'm going to go ahead and chop these up in a moment. Then I will grate the Parmesan, and then I will start everything cooking. We have some hot water already that was boiled, so it won't take too long to get back up to boiling. But once we start doing everything, it'll take about, all in all, I think about 15 minutes or so. So bear with me, and I will finish up the grating and the chopping, and then we will begin the cooking. Okay, so we went ahead and took our Parmesan, grated half a cup of it, took the mint that we had and chopped that up. nice thing about that mint, as I was showing it, it's that little bush. So I just took the leaves off it, and we're going to see if we can plant that and maybe keep it alive for future. I'm now heating up a or a heavy saucepan.
You need to put it on the back burner.
Okay, we're going to put it on the back burner. Heat up the heavy saucepan, and we are going to add to that 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and then we are going to cook the garlic for 2 or 3 minutes, just until it's beginning to color, and then we're going to add the prosciutto or the bacon, cook for another 3 or 4 minutes, and add the shallots for another 3 or 4 minutes to soften them, and then we'll put some salt, some black pepper. We're also going to start up the...
Okay, since it's not prosciutto, the meat might need to take a little more than what it says. It's not prosciutto. Prosciutto is extremely, extremely, extremely thin. So this might take a little bit longer than what the recipe says because it's not prosciutto.
So the pasta...
Again, I love the fact that you didn't get prosciutto because I'm not a fan of the saltiness of prosciutto, but it might take longer.
The pasta will take about how long to cook while boiling?
I don't know. You got to look at that.
Oh, it says about 11 minutes. Never mind.
It's all pastas are different.
So,
you look if you want al dente or if you want it, more soft.
So instead of actually doing
10 minutes, it says al dente 10 minutes. So al dente is like kind of more
firm, a little more firm. So instead of starting that, I'm going to wait until I get to the point where I'm cooking the bacon so that it all finishes right around that time.
Did you really put everything out on the thing that the bacon was wrapped in?
No, the bacon was wrapped in this right here. It was right in the center. I promise you. I did not get grease and bacon guts all over everything. I promise you.
You're supposed to take this whole entire brown piece of paper and throw it away.
I promise you. So, as you can tell, this is not a professional cooking show. And I'm not making this video to be like, hey, look, I'm cooking. The reason that I'm actually making this video is because...
Smiths being the Smiths, I'm pretty sure. But he should have taken this little brown piece of paper that surrounded the bacon. Okay, people.
And I want to make sure
that it should have been thrown away immediately. Now he's got the. Now I'm gonna have to put the peas in a different bag and the cheese in a different container. Thank God these go in the dishwasher. The pasta's been sitting on it. My garlic, I'm gonna have to put soap on the bottom of that, Mark. You really don't.
You gotta trust me. It was not all over that.
I don't care.
Right in the middle.
I don't even care.
Anyway, so the reason I'm doing this video...
You guys understand what I'm saying.
The reason I'm doing this video is so that we actually have some content to put up on the video or on the channel for you guys. So I've got the olive oil heating now. I'll go ahead and get the stuff...
Look at him trying to go right past the major faux pas that he made, knowing how I feel about the germs and things. Look at him just trying to go right past all that stuff.
I apologize, honey.
Look at the heavy creamer is sitting on top of where the bacon was. Raw.
Honey.
Raw bacon.
It was not all over.
And now he put it on the counter.
Yes, it was not all over this stuff. It was right in the middle. So I will go ahead and get this cooked. And as I get things...
See, now he's throwing it away.
Yes, I am, because she told me to.
Like, it could have made no difference at this point.
and as it's cooking, I will pop some on and show the camera the other way so you can see how it's coming out. So, see you in a few. Okay, so I have removed the offending bacon paper and thrown it away. I have washed off the bottoms of these ingredients, and we'll be washing off the bottom of this one and these momentarily. But we did go ahead and get this portion of the meal done. This is the minced garlic, the minced shallots, the bacon with a pinch or two of salt and a grind or two of pepper. Now we are boiling the pasta. That will be on for about 10 minutes. Once it hits about 6 minutes, we will put this back on heat and then start adding the snap peas for 3 minutes, or actually 2 minutes. They want to maintain their crunch. And with 1 minute left, we will add the heavy cream, the cheese, stir and reduce the heat. And once that minute is up, we will drain the pasta. And we will toss it with the sauce to coat, and then everything should be good. So, just showing you where everything is sitting. I'm going to go ahead and pause it again and come back when we are getting ready to add everything else in. So we are coming up on the finished product. After the pasta boiled to the time that it needed, then we went ahead and updated got everything finished in the pan, drained the pasta, then put the pasta back in here and poured the sauce in, stirred it in, tossed it through. Now we are getting ready to put it into bowls, serve it up.
Tell him that I changed it and it made you put the
And
mint in.
the mint was supposed to be garnished on the top of it, but
No.
it's Carrie said, no, let's put it in. So we put it in here. It's mixed in now. We still have a little bit of mint left over to garnish on the top. And we are having tonight's meal with a glass of Lambrusco, red wine, and some Pepsi. Yeah.
'Cause that's how we roll.
That's how we roll in the Smith house. So I'm going to finish the final...
Not the kids, just the adults.
Finish the final serving, and then we will take one last look at everything completed. And we hope you've enjoyed this cooking with the Smiths. And there we have it, the final result of pasta with prosciutto, or in this case, peppered bacon, snap peas, mint, and cream. So it's time for us to eat and watch some TV that we need to catch up on. Agent Carter. What else? What else are we watching?
I don't know. I have no idea.
So, if you enjoyed this, subscribe right up here in this area, and leave some comments down below. Did you enjoy this? Would you like to see more of it or not? And until next time, have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.